Hey, Pastor Josh here. We're reading Acts chapter 5, verses 7 through 11. I want to tell you that you need to agree to serve God together. You need to work together as a unit. Why? Why do we need to agree to serve God together? Because we're better together. There is great power in unity. There is great goodness when we work together. You can do so much more with more people than you can do alone. If you try to do a task on your own, it will take you far longer than if you do it with a faithful friend. In fact, you would cut your time just about in half, and it would be much more enjoyable. That applies to serving the Lord together. We need to agree to serve God together because we're better together. But evil can be done together too. And that's the problem we're looking at today, is because this couple, Ananias and Sapphira, agreed together to test the Spirit of the Lord. They have agreed together to go against what God has done. Rather than agreeing to serve God and obey God together, they've agreed to test the Lord together, and it ends in a rather terrible way. We have already seen what happened. We saw what happened to Ananias in yesterday's video. Now we'll see what happens to his wife, Sapphira, and it becomes clear that they agreed together. A previous reading said that Ananias did it with his wife's understanding, and now that becomes evidently clear as what has happened to Ananias now falls on Sapphira. So after an interval of about 3 hours, his wife came in, not knowing what had happened. She didn't know that Ananias got caught, that Peter understood through the Spirit what they were doing. And Peter said to Sapphira, "Tell me whether you sold the land for so much." And she said, "Yes, for so much." Because it was the exact same number that Ananias had said. And this is why Peter's able to say, but Peter said to her, "How is it that you have agreed together to test the Spirit of the Lord?" Here's the sin to confess, is when we do not agree to serve the Lord together, then essentially we are failing to do what God has asked us to do. We are testing the Spirit of the Lord when there is not a sweet spirit of unity. So rather than attempting to go against the Lord and try to do things for ourselves and figure out how is it that I can disobey the Lord, how is it that I can do everything that I want to do so that I don't get in trouble, so that so-and-so doesn't find out. No, that's not the way we are supposed to go about things. We're supposed to be proactive in saying, how can we obey? How can we serve the Lord together? When we don't do that, we end up testing the Spirit of the Lord. And then Peter goes on to say, "Behold, the feet of those who have buried your husband are at the door, and they will carry you out." And immediately, as soon as Peter said that, she fell down at his feet and breathed her last. The exact same terminology used of Ananias. So this is not just some coincidence. This is clearly a judgmental act of the Lord. When the young men came in, they found her dead, and they carried her out and buried her beside her husband. And great fear came upon the whole church and upon all who heard these things. Following the Lord is a holy and very special thing. We should do it with great joy and great excitement and great passion. We need to serve the Lord together because we're better together. We can do so much more when we are united with a church family and we're serving Him. I'm actually recording this right before Vacation Bible School begins. And we can do so much better. We can do something like Vacation Bible School when we all come together and work together. But as we do these holy things, we need to remember that we are about a holy task. And we need to make sure that we're doing it in the way that the Lord would have us to do it. And that's why great fear came upon the whole church. There's this holy fear. There's this awe-inspiring heart in the church. They were worshiping the Lord, and they were fearful of the Lord, knowing how powerful and how dedicated he is to his mission and doing things the right way. I pray that has been a blessing to you, and I'll see you all in the next video.